All right. Well, hope everyone's having a good day. So let's see. Just gotta do this, and we're in. We're in Deep Rock Galactic. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. KNAT just posted a link to an EVE Online event. Don't miss the Interstellar Convergence. What's this about? Hey Sark, how's it going? Dodo, cool guy, life after death. So I was gonna maybe do a little bit of scout on Deep Rock Galactic today, but oh, let me see. Then we have a couple things we can look at too.
Let's move it.
Pretty cool looking, right? Got the little sort of upturned beard, the massive mustache. That's how it should be. Okay, let me take a look real quick at what KNAT posted. I know you can't see this. Screen might be frozen. But what is this? Oh my god. Jesus. Okay. Oh, 1 second. Let's see. Properties. There we go. This is the new EVE On Live event. So, anyone who doesn't know, EVE Online is an MMO. One of the older MMOs, along with like World of Warcraft, popular. Here you have some very light-skinned black guy and some woman. Interstellar Convergence. Terminate evil. I assume these are the good guys, right? You wouldn't have a black guy and a woman next. Bad guys. These have to be like your partners in exterminating evil. Interesting. EVE Online X Doctor Who crossover event. To the 1st of February. Perfect for both new EVE newcomers, regular pilots, and veteran capsuleers. Well, there you go. Looking wonderful. Oh, man. Tomato Way says, look at the Tomato Way trilogy. How's it going, Tomato Way? Tomato Way says, he's not light-skinned, he's just sick. Really? Vitiligo? I mean, I don't know if you vitiligo sick. Vitiligo is... Well, you know, I'm sure most people here know, like one of the reasons why... What's his name? What's that one guy? Michael Jackson? Yeah, Michael Jackson. I mean, Michael Jackson was so light-skinned later in life, largely due to his vitiligo. Although he probably did other things too. You know. But, you have melanocytes in your skin, and there's a problem there, then you get lighter. And it's normally a autoimmune condition. Tomato Way says, when you're an African and you live in the UK, it's not good for your health. Well, I do know... Oh gosh, let me see if I can pull up the study. African... Europe... vitamin D? So, this one's vitamin D in African Americans. Vitamin D insufficiency is most prevalent among African Americans. Most young, healthy blacks do not achieve optimum vitamin D concentrations at any time of the year. This is primarily due to the fact that pigmentation reduces vitamin D production in the skin. There's also... Well, let's take a look at, can we do, like, map of the world want to see a map of the world by, like, by solar concentration. I want to see the amount of light energy that hits different land masses. So, I mean, this may not be exactly what we're looking for, but we do see, you know, to a large degree, there are equatorial population and tropical populations who evolved in conditions that they had a lot of sunlight, right? And when you get up into North America and also especially Europe, there's just so much less sun. And the people who are here really evolved in these conditions over the last few thousand years, you know, tens of thousands potentially. I'd have to look at the timescale exactly, but the point is we can all tell the conditions are very different. And evolution happened for a reason. And yeah, we do see consistently that people who have heritage in the equatorial and tropical regions, once they start to move to sort of temperate and almost like subarctic and Arctic regions, they have significantly poorer vitamin D levels compared to the native population, right? So, I mean, that's... So what Tomato Way saying African living in the UK is not good for your health, I mean, that's not just, you know, that's a thing. That's an actual thing. Oh, Dodo says, respect to all our brothers suffering from revitiligo, which is a reference to that cartoon. He says, like our beloved Uncle Ruckus, which I've seen clips of that cartoon on YouTube. Nero says, hello, my fellow vinegar Americans. I've not heard that one. Is that something I missed out on?
Backbreaker stout! Leave no dwarf behind! I want to punch whoever designed this thing!
Alright. So have you guys been seeing all the UK trucker stuff? Dodo says, where are you reading Tomato Way's comments from? Tomato Way is on Twitch right now. So I'm on Twitch, DLive, Trovo, and YouTube. Most people are on YouTube. Tomato Way. Mr. Gladius says, Eve Online, and then a word that I can't actually say on Twitch anymore, I don't think. Yeah. Well, I should bring up that flag. Historical... let's... 1 second. English... flag... 1 second. Gonna have a great flag. Porsche. Ba-dum-bum. Bam. So, this has nothing to do with anything. But this is a England royalist battle flag during the First Civil War. I guess the horses are carrying it, or the horses, you know, the guys on the horses. What are they called? Equestrians? Cavalry. I don't know if that's a fox, but that is a battle flag, right? And I'm not saying anything that'll get me banned, I'm pretty sure, but this is a historical document, historical relic. So it's good to keep history in mind. All right. Tomato Way says he made a game, a Mario 64 clone, about a blue-eyed blonde girl. I need people for English dub. Can you read a few lines? It depends. Like, it depends. I could maybe read a few lines, but I need to make sure that there's not anything gross or bad in the game that I don't want my name on, you know what I mean? Or my voice in, preferably. Mr. Gladius, oh, you can't say that word? I don't think you can say that on Twitch. Schmerling says based Anglos, exactly. Alright, let's take a look here. Oof. Oh, Azure Wield.
Deep dive preparations complete. Suit up and get your butts on the drop pod.
Okay, so Dodo says hopefully the truckers push for some sort of legislation. Have you guys been watching that trucker stuff? Let me bring up my window here. It's been interesting. I saw this on Twitter just recently. You know, it looks like they got a bunch of farmers out there as well with the truckers. Whoops. You can see Go Truckers Go. Enough is enough with the Canadian flag. Go keep our land. Oh, God, keep our land glorious and free! Exclamation point with the maple leaf. Make Canada free again. I don't know about the broken glass font. That's an interesting choice. Very bold, though. Bold and red. Which actually, it's not only eye-catching, it fits with the flag, right? It's white and red. Sort of works. Bellman says, what's your take on a game like Final Fantasy XIV? Isn't that an MMO? I mean, I don't know much about it. If there's any specific thing you're thinking about, might be better just to ask about that directly. Mr. Gladius says, imagine if all this energy was used for a more nationalistic purpose. I mean, that'd be good. But, you know, at the same time, it's like, everyone's, you know, you're not generally going to get, at least in my estimation, a sort of like, you're not going to energize the masses, the people, like everyday people who are just trying to live their lives and who aren't like obsessed with isms and politics. You're not going to get them energized over some sort of like world view to some degree. Like, you're not going to get them energized over like real big, broad, highly conceptual movements. You're going to get them about a specific issue or like a real basic identity, like race or their religion, right? You're not like, so on some level you could say, well, their religion is like a highly conceptual thing, right? That's a big, you know, sort of worldview that they're fighting for. That's true, but at the same time, it's like that has become a sort of base identity, like a real strong, like, gut, us and them sort of thing. So I feel like if you want your sort of conceptual worldview to be like that, I mean, you could do that, and probably the way to go. Dodo doesn't like the Canadian flag. He doesn't like the leaf. I mean, it's all right. You know what? Who's got good flags in your mind? Who has the best flags? Let me take a look. What's Bing say? Ready for this? best flags. We want to see the best flags. Oh, well, here it is. Wow, look at that. Those are all sales thing. Images. Uh-huh. Alabama, Colorado, South Carolina, Alaska. These are all state flags. What's that? Nepal? Israel? Estonia? Ukraine? United States? Philippines? Canada? Sweden? UK? Gosh, where the hell is that? I don't know what that is. Nero says the best flag is Wales. Tomato Way says the best flags have Islam, just green. What's that one again? Something in the Caribbean. St. Lucia? That's a good flag. I like that one. There's Trinidad and Tobago. That's also in the Caribbean, just off the coast of Venezuela. I like their flag. That's a good one. Albania? Oh, yeah. Well, no, that's different. I forget what that... I don't know what this one is. Bhutan? Is this a modern flag? Bhutan? That's Kenya, right? That's a good flag. Mr. Gladius says, the Iberians have the best flags. I really like Spain and Portugal. Spain flag. We'll look at them. Let's see if we can get like a high resolution. I'm not a super big fan of this flag. I mean, this is just so highly complex for a flag. Let's get a high resolution Portugal flag. You know, I like this one just a little bit better. We don't need the fabric folds in it. I like this one a little better. It's still very highly complex, though. You know, for like a emblem sort of deal. But in terms of like complex emblems on a flag, it's good. Tomato Way says, look at the Mongolian flag. Oh, I know the Mongolian flag. That one's decently complex, too. It's got the whole castle sort of deal on there. I mean, I don't know exactly what it's supposed to be. I mean, it looks... I guess it reminds me of a castle, but I don't think it's really a castle. Got the yin-yang and various symbology. But it always struck me as sort of like a... I don't know, cathedral tower or something. Dodo says Marshall Islands. I don't know if I know that off the top of my head. Oh, whoop. Oh, Marshall Island flag. That is a good flag. That's a nice flag. You know, it's sort of a flag. This looks like an airline's branding. You know what I mean? Like, this is how an airline would paint their planes. Like blue, the white star, and these two stripes. This is a plane's paint job. Velhem wanted me to look at this Final Fantasy 14 thing here. Velhem says, from what I've heard, they do tend to play on having nuanced takes, but the community has a lot of LGBT people. Let me close this. Let me take a look at this. What he posted here. Okay, well let's take a look here. This is from Paste magazine. I've never heard of this. This is 2019. Final Fantasy 14 doesn't run from its politics like so many other games. Nothing is apolitical. And, you know, I know some people really don't like that view, or they like it. You know, I think it's one of those things where, like, it sort of doesn't matter if you agree with that or not. Like, politics, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure. So, their politics is part of the game or whatever. Yeah. So, Final Fantasy XIV isn't afraid to display the full impact of oppression, the lack of resources available to a dying people forced to exist on the margins of society, the daily psychological terror of living under a fascist regime, the delicacies and dangers of powerful, well-meaning outside allies intervening in the affairs of marginalized and largely brown or otherwise of color people. Had the terminology today. It also accompanies these things with important, compelling question, not like, is oppression bad, but rather, what do oppressors look like? What happens when the oppressors look like the marginalized? How accountable are they as individuals versus the dominant system? What does a revolution look like for different people? And is it easily accessible for everyone? Is revolution easily accessible for everyone? Okay. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, yeah, I think I'd really have to spend a lot of time. Okay. Let's just read these last two things. I'd need a much longer article to delve into all the nuances regarding oppression, bigotry, racism, and fascism. God. But these are topics that 14 establishes from the beginning, carries through Heavensward, centers in Stormblood, and will surely discuss in Shadowbringers. That a big budget video game understands the importance of not even slightly downplaying the horrors of micro and macro aggressions, examines and criticizes what they're born from and grow to become, and demands that entire systems be built on this BS should be eradicated is revealing to see. And it does this while committing to the idea of a better future, of a revolution that leads to the liberation that people deserve. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, is this really what the game is suggesting? Maybe. I don't know. It might be what the game is suggesting. I'd really have to look through the game and play it and see what it's about to see if, like, this person's interpretation of, like, the nuances of oppression, bigotry, racism, and fascism are all, like, really a thing in the game. But I haven't played it, so I don't know. I feel like a lot of the attempts to approach these issues are so far left that it's really not, it's not, like, nuanced. It's just ham-handed leftism, right? Made Away says, modern movies suck and full of propaganda. How about watch old public domain movies on stream? Well, that's actually a heck of an idea. I'd have to look at what is public domain now, though. I think it would be only some of the oldest flags. Nero says, minimalist flags are bland and postmodern. They need some icon. Well, I mean, like, what's minimalist? I mean, Sweden... Oh. The flag of Sweden obviously has a significant icon on it. But it's not, like, highly complex. You don't have, like, many intricate shapes nested within other shapes that would be, like, really difficult to draw. Nero says, Final Fantasy XIV has a lot of cool things. Love the song Answers. Always made me think of the situation with Europeans. But I'm sure the community and parts of the game are paused. Yeah. Let's see here. Khan says, Final Fantasy games don't have deep stories. Tomato Way says, watch the Kingdom Come to... watch Daniel Bavra interview about this game. He love his country and make a game about... and for his people. Sark says media likes to interpret things with some extra pause, but they usually haven't played the game. That's true. Good evening, Cole. Good to see you. I remember I played the, what's that one game? Elder Scrolls Online. That was, pretty paused in parts. Just vague. Yeah, I would like to do a stream playthrough of the Elder Scrolls Online Thieves Guild. Okay, let's see here. I might have to scroll. Okay. Gosh, I don't think I can read that, Nero. Let's see. Life after death. Let me take a look at what life after death did. I'm not sure what you're saying, life after death. Oh. Well, you said a few things. I thought this was one. Okay. Piers, how's it going? Nero says a lot of flags are just 2 or 3 stripes of color. That's boring. And such a sad icon for a nation. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to the best flags. All right, best flags. Ando says he put 50 hours into the Elder Scrolls Online. Seemed like it should be good with all the content, but it never really gripped him. There were some parts of it I thought were pretty good. But, you know, obviously I'm not playing it now. Okay. So, best flags. Kenya, Albania, United States. NATO poll? Albania, Belgium, Bulgaria. What's that? How about Amsterdam flag? Flag of Amsterdam. Whoops. What do you think of that? I mean, it's kind of cool. But, I don't know. And it certainly is like, it's cool, but it doesn't inspire that same feeling of, like, greatness. Like, this is not the flag that inspires you to, like, build a cathedral. Because this and cathedrals don't mix, right? You don't build this with a cathedral. It's so different. What's most regal flag? Oh. Like, would you want that to be your flag? That's a little... Khan says you should only put 3 X's on a moonshine jug. Mr. Gladius says, any opinion on the Halo series? Actually, I just played some Halo Infinite with, so it wasn't on stream, but I played with American Krogan and a few other friends last night. I mean, like, and that was not, I mean, that was okay. It was, the fun that I had last night was entirely based off of playing with them, not actually playing the game. As far as the original Halo, I played the original Halo when it was new, and I did enjoy it, right? I liked that. I'm not really interested in the new ones or whatever. What the hell's going on here? Okay. Most awesome. Ooh, come and take it. There's the thin blue line. Oh, this is, isn't... I don't know, it kind of reminds me of, Tibet? I don't even see anything listed on here. What web page is this from? Dude, I don't know how to use Bing. Is that Tibetan flag? Tibet flag? Yeah, it is Tibet. The Tibet flag's pretty cool. Now, so you didn't like The tricolor flags. Too simple, too postmodern. What do you think of the Tibet flag? Now, Tibet doesn't make cathedrals. They have their own stuff. But, like, this is the sort of thing you could put on... I don't know. I think it can inspire some, like... It's just very different than that, Amsterdam. Let's say that. Jacob says... Is this about the Tibet flag, Jacob? Jacob says, it's something I'd expect from a middle school student art project. No disrespect intended. This? You say this is the middle school art project? Let me take a look at these other images. Okay, this is interesting. What's interesting to me is that, like, the yellow border is only on 3 sides. There's no yellow border on the 4th side. Knat says he liked the Halo games a lot. There's little pieces of pause in it, though. Mr. Gladius says, I always like to compare the way nationalism is portrayed in Halo and Killzone. I don't know. Tomato Way says, look at Republic... Okay, let me type that in. I don't know how to pronounce it. Republic Ichkira. Oh. Wow. You know? I mean... Again, I think it's a little complex. I think this sort of symbology is pretty... Like, if you had to draw this flag... Although I feel like it's decently simplifiable when you're drawing it. You know, it's not a bad flag. What do you guys think of this flag? Good flag? Oh, that's just the emblem. Huh. Well. Nero says he thinks he means the Amsterdam one. Yeah, that may be true. There's always some stream delay. It's just the way it works. I mean... Mr. Gladius says Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka. Oh. Keep forgetting to type in flag. Ugh. No, sir, I don't like it. No offense. Sark says, how long before Master Chief comes out as LGBT? I don't know. Here's Nero's favorite flag. I don't know which one you would prefer here. I don't know which one. Is there a Wikipedia article? I mean, there had to have been a lot of these things over the years, right? Was this ever a flag that was flown? Best video game flags. What? Video game flags. How about GDI flag? I feel like that's kind of cool. Some of these GDI flags. There's the Nod flag. Caesar's Legion flag. That one's all right. Yeah. What else? Let's go back to video game flag. Video game flag. Fallout. Gold. Oh, is that the... Is this the... What is that? Oh, there's the Horde. the hell's that from? Oh, what was it? Dawn? Damn it. Cult, Elder Scrolls, Flag. God, what? Man. Elder Scrolls, Cult, Oblivion Crisis. Who are they? Oh, Mythic Dawn. Mythic Dawn Flag. That's a good flag. I mean, I guess they mostly just wore it as a tabard. It's part of their insignia. I don't know if I think they had it as sort of a vertical flag. What is all that? Art amateur. What? Okay. What do you think of that? It's sort of like a draped down flag. Mythic Dawn flag? I think that's a good flag. It kind of reminds me, though, of, God. Hong Kong flag. Which I think is a great flag, honestly. I like the Hong Kong flag. Just looks good. I mean, no offense, Canadians. Let's okay. Canada. I want to know what you guys think. Between the Canada flag and the Hong Kong flag. Which one do you like better? Because I like Canadians, but I kind of prefer the Hong Kong flag. Merlin says all these flags make him want to play Mountain Blade. Han says Hong Kong flag is good. Xeon flag? Oh, what's this? Xeon? What is Xeon? I don't even know what that is. Mobile Suit Gundam? Oh, Gundams. Let's see here. Okay, someone says Warhammer 40K. Oops. Imperium of Man flag. That's looking pretty cool. Two-headed eagle. Sort of deal. Mm-hmm. I kind of like that. You know what else? Work. What's that one? Battletech flags. These are just sort of banners or whatever. And this is where, who asked the question? Gladius says, what's the difference between a standard and a banner? I don't know. We should probably look up the exact definition of these things to determine that. Maybe, I don't know if they have flags. Okay, let me Battletech flag, Steam Workshop. Planetary flags on Sarna. Okay, here we go. Here are some make-believe planets flags. This reminds me of, like, some sort of corporate credit card sort of deal. Hertz Rent-A-Car credit card. Or something. So this is, I think a lot of these would have been made in like the 80s. Would have been like people in the 80s writing about a future, people expanding across the galaxy, creating new planets, and these are the flags they'd come up with. Well, oddly shaped flag. Oh, man. Who stepped on Sweden? Johnny 5K says, why are we seeking flags? I don't know. Ando says he loves the maple leaf. You know? Knat says he likes the Hong Kong flag, though. And Tomato Way says, Hong Kong, they have less commies. Merlin says, what is this? Appeal to heaven? Flag? Best flag. An appeal to heaven. Interesting. How about the Cascadia? I spelled it wrong. Missed out on one of my things. Like that. Oof. Tricolor with a tree in it. Schmerling says, if you want to stare at flags all day, you should play a Paradox game. Ah. Nice little emoticon thing, Karma. Oh, okay. Lovester says, Legend of the Galactic Heroes flags. Eggs? Looks very, feminine. What's this from? This isn't Legend of the Galactic Heroes, is it? See, some of you are offering a couple flags that I have to search off. I gotta search while not showing my screen and make sure nothing bad thumbs up. Okay. Jeez. What? Okay. So I believe this is Libya from 1977 to 2011. Thanks, Knat. This is a really great flag. Oh. See, now this is a flag that could inspire you. Look at that. Here says, oh god. Brazil flag. Looks like a planet flag. Yeah, it does. It always struck me as sort of like planet-like. But it's actually a part of the sky or something. I'm not a big fan of the Brazil flag. Okay, let's just look at South America flag. Who's got a good flag in South America? There's Trinidad and Tobago. I already said I like their flag. Argentina? It's alright. Bolivia? Brazil? Chile? I can't... I kind of like it. But I'm biased. Ecuador. Alright. Guyana. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly. I do like that. Paraguay? Meh. Peru? Meh. Suriname? No. Venezuela? Meh. So similar to Colombia. Uruguay? It's not the worst. Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana have it in terms of the flags. And Chile. Chile's got it. Khan, in reference to the Libyan flag, says, I think that's just the laundry. Khan doesn't think this is an actual flag. It's just, drying out the sheets here. Who has green sheets? Okay. Wait a second. Han says South Africa. You know, oh god. I kind of like it. You know, it's very colorful. Got a lot going on while not having a lot going on. Like, there's nothing here that, like, would be hard to draw. It's not like a super complex flag, but it's got a lot of colors and different angles. And I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Again, what was the most regal flags? Regal? What were the most regal flags? Ugh. Okay. You know what's a good flag? You know, on some level, I feel like the UK flag and the South Africa flag, you know, they have some of these straight, sort of horizontal lines, these diagonal lines, these interesting shapes. But because it doesn't, because the UK, you know, you're not dipping into these yellows and blacks and like really sort of exaggerating it. Like this is already kind of a lot in terms of the deep blues and the whites, right? When you start to include yellows and blacks, it becomes a little, I don't know. Oh, you want the old South Africa flag. But the only problem is you start putting other people's flag on your flag. And when I say other people's, I mean, like, when there's flags on flags, it's not my favorite thing in the world. But, this is definitely not the worst flag. But not the best. Oh. Interesting, interesting. Wales has a pretty good flag. Yeah, it's the dragon, right? Welsh dragon. Yep. Okay. So, before we start playing the game again, it's been interesting watching the whole trucker thing in Canada. Behold the line. Apparently, effective yesterday, I think this is in Nova Scotia, all persons are prohibited from stopping, parking, or operating a vehicle, putting any item in such a manner as to create or contribute to a partial or completely blockade. So, I guess they just passed this, went into effect yesterday, Nova Scotia, because they want to be able to arrest the truckers, right? They want to be able to put them in jail. And they also have this other line, participating in, financing, organizing, aiding, encouraging, or supporting an interruption. So, we get, like, when they say encouraging and supporting, that has to be different from financing, right? They're not saying encouraging financially, because that's under financing. They're not saying supporting through organizing and aiding, because that's already written. So what does it mean to encourage and support interruption, but not offer financing, organizing, or aiding? You're not aiding them, you're not helping them, but you do support them? Is that this? Is it illegal to be this group of people waving the Canadian flag and saying, "Go truckers"? Yeah, so, this just passed in Canada or whatever, just went into effect. I believe in Nova Scotia. Canadian truckers are out there. I posted the farmers are out there with them. It's all farmers and truckers, and it very much strikes you as this whole situation sort of politically. You know how you have the the leftists saying how much they like the working class, and the working class, of course, is out there protesting, right? Oh, a labor strike. What are we fighting? Oh, we're fighting this. Oh, well, I'm not. Turns out they don't really like the working class. They hate the working class, especially insofar as the working class is white, right? Now, one of the other things I want to talk about is, you have there's an element, an aspect of anti-whiteism when we talk about these issues. When you talk about these issues, when the protests start, right, you will have people who will criticize the protesters for being white, essentially. So here's this lady or whatever. She's got a sign that says, F your white nationalist agenda. And she's counter protesting the truckers, right? So she's saying, your movement is white and therefore bad. Now, let's listen to this real quick.
So it says, F your white nationalist agenda.
I am not a white. This is nothing to do about white. This is nothing to do with truckers. This is about freedom for all of Canadians.
So we have a situation here where to argue against the truckers, they are portraying the truckers as white because white is bad, and having a movement of a lot of white people is bad. And to fight against that, what a lot of people do, sort of on the other side, they say, well, look at how many non-whites we have who also support the cause. Which feeds into the same paradigm, right? Let's put this on Notepad if I can. Oh, God. Well, it's one of these situations where, God. I even wrote about this on Twitter somewhere. Let me see if I can bring that up. In reality, where a lot of these people fight back, they're saying, well, look, we have all these based minorities with us, as Khan said. Instead of that, what if even if every single one of the protesters was white, wouldn't they still have the same point? I mean, like, is it really have to be a war over who has the least white base for their movement? That's what this is about? We gotta fight over that? Let me see here. Comes down. I know you can't see what I'm searching. Oh, I think that tweet got deleted a long time ago. But I happen to know... Oops. I happen to know that when you go to the Trump rally, and what they'll do... Let's see if we can go back to that picture. Wait, where's that picture? Damn. Where did it go? So when the Trump rally is starting up and they come to see who has shown up, the people who are organizing the Trump rally, right? They got to find people to stand behind Trump, right? So, like, you have a bunch of people in front of all these speakers. Most people are in front. But then they also have to grab some people and put them behind the speaker because those people are going to be on camera, right? Well, it's not like there's separate tickets to go back there. Oh, Trump rally crowd. I just want Trump rally. If you go to a Trump rally, one of the things you'll notice is that they'll immediately grab... there they are. The Blacks for Trump. They'll grab the Blacks for Trump and they'll stick them behind Trump, right? Because the basic narrative is the left will say, well, your movement, your political movement or whatever is a bunch of white people. Therefore, it's bad. And the response is normally anti-white. It's not, hey, well, white people are people who have human dignity and the stuff we think matters too. It's to say, quick, like, there's a black guy who agrees with us. We've got to put him up front and center to prove them wrong because we're not all white. See? We're not all bad. We're not all white. We even have black people here. See? You know, that there's everyone here is involved in the anti-white narrative, right? This is all being shaped by the anti-white narrative, where if you don't like a movement, you can accuse it of being too white, and the people who fight back against you won't say that being white's okay. They'll say, well, you know, we're not that white. Reminds me of, what's that guy? He's dead now. McAfee. Libertarian. Shame on. Damn it. Where is it? White. Where is this stuff? Let me search in a different tab here. Gladius says we're playing by their rules. Well, exactly. Everyone's playing by the anti-white rules. Okay. Let me see if I can just bring this up on YouTube real quick. That's not... I think you can all hear that, right?
More time. What's great about this is that I get to speak one more time authentically with you. I love this. When I first joined the Libertarian Party, two things stood out.
All right. Let's hear it, McAfee. What are the two things that stood out when you joined the Libertarian Party?
Very starkly. One, 75% of you are men. Number two, 99.8% of you are white. Shame on you. Shame on you.
What sort of loser claps to that? What sort of self-hating loser scum claps to that? If you go out... God. Oh my God. If you go out and you have a message and you say, well, I believe in freedom. You know, I want this and that and this other thing. And then a bunch of white people show up and they're like, you know what? Yeah, I agree with you. Blah, blah, blah. You're not bad because the crowd who showed up to meet you was white. So this sort of thinking that McAfee pushed is the reason why you have Trump will go to a rally in Iowa. He'll get a whole bunch of people to show up from all over the Midwest. They'll take like the, so he said like, oh, your libertarians are 99.8% white. It's similar at the Trump rallies. It's like 99% white. And they'll take that 1% of non-whites and stick them right behind Trump to sort of accentuate the idea, like the left is saying, your movement's bad because you're white. And then the right says, oh, you know, I know it's bad, but we're not all white. You know, we're not all evil. We're not all bad. Some of us weren't born with the wrong skin color, the wrong genetic ancestry. Some of us are black too, so we're okay. Like, even if everyone at the crowd was 100% white, it should be okay, right? But instead, what do we get?
99% of you are white.
What do we get?
Shame on you.
We get shame. It's the worst. White guilt and the shame is ridiculous. This stuff. Oh, and Khan says it's like that Jimmy Fallon clip. Let me bring that up. Let's just do that. Jimmy... Is it Jimmy Fallon? Oh god. Is it okay?
Here's the results of the 2020 census just came out, and for the first time in American history, the number of white people went down.
Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't. What the heck is going on here? Some ads started playing. I mean, who are they going to cheer about that happening to other than us? I mean, if Mongolians became a minority in their own country, I mean, are Jimmy Fallon fans, are all these anti-whites going to cheer for that? I mean, why aren't these people cheering on what's happening to Tibet? Why are they saying free Tibet? This is just the migration of Han Chinese into Tibet. That's diversity.
Flares up! Attack! I killed a loot bug, and I'm not so proud about it.
All right.
Minus, welcome to the deep dive. The horrors of Hoxties await you. Work hard,
Okay, go mine
stay
that.
focused, and keep an eye on your objectives.
I figured I'd play Scout this week. This way you can actually see what I'm doing. I know when I stream, a lot of times I'm on Driller, and if I play alone, I'm playing, like, in the dark. And I don't know how that looks to you guys. I would think it would be pretty disorienting.
Donkey, come here! Can't carry anymore.
KNat says, to be fair, when he's so KNat says he's referring to the truckers. He says, to be fair, I don't think everyone necessarily means that it's not okay to have a white-only protest, just that it's easier to counter by pointing out how baseless their accusation is. Right. No, I get it. So, there's when someone says, your protest is so white, like, there's two responses. One, you could point out how not white it is. And if it's, like, very not white, like, it is one of these things where it's, like, easy to point out, and, like, it makes them look bad, especially because most people are already operating in the anti-white narrative. But at the end of the day,
It's the weak point!
the whiteness of your protest,
I need the mule right here, right
or how white your protest is, arguing about over in that sense ultimately does feed into the anti-white narrative, right? It's they're saying X. They're saying you're all white. But they're saying that because it's bad to be white, in their view, right? So you could either feed into their narrative by saying, yes, it's bad to be white, but we're not all white. Come on. Or you can push back. Like, real pushback is not, well, look, here's this base minority. Real pushback is, it's it's not bad to be born with our genetic ancestry, right? Whew. Oops. What is... I forgot how to play this game. How do I... Okay. I guess I did forget how to play this a little bit. Oh, okay. I get it now. I get it. I was really confused on how to charge my shot. It was not working. It was just using my pickaxe. You don't scope in. Well, the only thing about that response, Khan. So Khan gave the one line of response, which is when they say that you're a racist, you say, and, question mark, you know. I mean, I wouldn't, like, I understand that desire to give that sort of response. But I really would like to see the word racist be discounted to the point where people don't take it seriously anymore, right? Because it's not a serious word. It's a word used by anti-whites, mostly to silence whites. And I have a video kind of to that effect. I think it's like silence whites with one word or something. The name of the video? Whoops! I missed. Yeah, if you delete your comment, I don't see it get deleted because I'm not using YouTube. I'm using my streaming platform or my streaming program to read the comments. So if you delete it on YouTube, it actually doesn't get deleted for me, so. Piers says that's why It's Okay to Be White is so effective, or was so effective. Yeah, I mean, that's the ultimate response. That's much more like the response I'd like to see, you know, in terms of like, someone says, look at how your movement is so white. And the implication from that is that it's bad, right? They're saying, hey, you're white, therefore bad. The implication, what the response I'd like to see is, there's nothing bad about being white. Like, a bunch of white people can all believe a thing and show up to protest it. And we shouldn't have to prove that we can get a few non-white people there with us to make our movement legitimate. Like, either what we're saying is true or false, it's either good or bad, regardless of, like, whether we could get anyone to come with us, or if it's just us. In the same way that most of you in the chat who like white people would extend that to non-whites, right? Most of you, I'm pretty sure, if like a bunch of non-white people showed up to protest something, even if they didn't bring a single white person, you'd still be willing to decide on whether their movement is good or bad, or whether they're correct or incorrect, based off of the facts, rather than just saying, well, you didn't bring any whites through your movement. Johnny 5K says the answer to "you are all white" is just yes. Or, you know, if you're not all white, you can just say, like, yeah, mostly. You know? I just don't want... I'm very... It's very disheartening, of course, to see both sides engage in the exact same sort of anti-white rhetoric. Where, like... Again, I've said it before. I'm going to say it once more and then it'll be done. You know, one side says, your movement's so white. It's illegitimate because it's so white. And rather than pushing back and saying, well, our movements can be white and legitimate, they say, well, I know it's bad, but look, we have non-whites here too. You know, it's like, please, people. And that's why the Blacks for Trump always get shuffled straight behind Trump, right? In his rallies. Because it's there in the anti-white narrative. You need non-whites in your movement to provide your movement legitimacy. Okay. I'll stop saying the same thing over and over. Is there an egg here? Oh, not. Well, I mean a little egg. I want to fight this in the main room. After I get this gold, of course. See if I can get through the hole. Ooh! Light it up so you guys can see. Rain Man says conservatives need black approval. Yeah, like, well, everyone who's in the anti-white narrative, you know, you need approval from the non-whites, and sort of like the whiter your group is, the more desperately you need it. Because the whiter your group is, the less legitimate it is. The worse it is. There's a Praetorian here, too. Wait, where's the boss? Don't kill that until the boss is here. Oh, man. Oh, it's digging through right here. Got one thing down. All right. Oh no! Oh, come on. Well, there we go. Got some damage in. Pretty good on Nitra here. Khan says, to live the simple life of a space dwarf. Exactly. Isn't this the life you want to live? Instead of dealing with all this anti-white stuff, you could be fighting a dreadnought hive guard on an alien planet for minerals. So, if you're wondering what I'm doing right now, you can hear his ads digging through the wall to get me, because he spawned him in the wrong room. Ugh. See, they just dug this huge thing. Yeah, this. That's ridiculous, but whatever. The game mostly works, you know? The game is pretty good, and mostly works. Come on, you.
Weapon ready.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. So one more round, and I think that's normal. You gotta do 3 rounds. Han says, were they just stuck in the ground? I believe that they actually spawned in a different room. Yeah, down there in the tunnel. Reload this gun. I wonder... Ow. Okay. I'm gonna try something fancy here. If Bosco doesn't kill him first. You can come a little bit towards me, monster. I don't know if this is gonna hit him. Oh!
Good work, team. Objective completed.
Oh, my resupply of ammo just arrived.
Getting more ammo.
How you like that?
Light is up.
Killed him with my ammo. Resupply. Okay, now I gotta get 2 stupid eggs. Yeah, so this is where they came... Oh god, look at how much they dug out here. This is all them digging out, and then here's the natural tunnel that they spawned in. What in the hell?
Watch me fly. Bam!
Let's see here. Knet says, who do the dwarves work for in this game? Is it for themselves or are they contracted by elves? Well, they work for a company called Deep Rock Galactic. Now, I've never been like super big in the lore. Like, I haven't done reading in the lore outside of the game. But I think people have speculated that some of the management that they're often complaining about are elves.
I need to deposit in the mule.
They certainly don't. The dwarves here certainly don't say nice things about elves, which they often call leaf lovers.
Rock and stone.
I love my Bosco.
Rock and stone.
Nice. Nero says, have you seen the classic video titled
Go fetch.
I Am a Gamer? I have not. And there is a miner's manual here. We might be able to read stuff here. So I don't normally look in here, but clearly they put a ton of work in here. So here's the miner's manual. You just press escape, click on miner's manual. Indispensable piece of literature for any Deep Rock Galactic employee. So this is your employee handbook. Ammo, navigation, space rig. I don't know if there's any sort of lore stuff, though. Mostly focused on the stuff you have to do and how to fight, damage types, missions, how missions work, egg hunt. So if you're ever confused, it does help to go into the miner's manual. And as far as I've seen... Yeah, when they've added new stuff to the game, they've updated their miner's manual, right? So this is like documentation for you to look at. You can see, for example, this is weak to fire and melee, and this is something they added to the game fairly recently. So it's not like they made a miner's manual when they made the game originally, and then they haven't updated it with all the new stuff, which is the common sort of thing you see in games. It's the common sort of thing you see in the corporate America, right? Documentation falls behind all the time, right? A lot of times when a new document is created, it doesn't actually get updated or not updated every time, right? So if some of these planetary regions are new, this is a new, well, it's not new, but this is not one of, it's like Salt Pits, I think, was like one of the original ones, but not this. That's new. Or this. This is where I am now. Azure Wield. is a chilly place, every bit as hostile as the rest of Hoxie's 4. That's the planet we're on. Hoxie's 4. But still, we cannot deny it is oddly beautiful. Dazzling bioluminescent clusters of lichen light up the darkness, illuminating this fertile and overgrown region in flickering neon colors. Don't let that lull you into a false sense of security, however. The azure weald brings to mind the deep jungle in all its splendor and horror, and, much like its terrestrial counterparts, is absolutely not out to make friends. Kill or be killed, that's law of this place. And there are these cave angels, these big sort of, they're like manta rays. And I love manta rays in real life. Manta rays are just beautiful, graceful animals. But you can ride these. I'll ride one today if I can see one. I don't know if there's going to be one in the thing I'm in now because it's such a small cave. But in the big caves, they tend to fun.
Stay by my side, Bosco.
Okay.
You carry a load well, Molly. Eat it.
Loot bug. I kill all the loot bugs. I know. I've joined some online games where they'll kick you if you kill the loot bugs. Some people do not kill loot bugs. I don't really need gold. Okay, let's freeze grenade these guys. So, a bunch of these guys spawned because I picked up the egg. Whenever you pick up an egg, the little egg from their egg, little nests, always some of them spawn, but you'll also get a big swarm sometimes. So this next egg will give me a swarm, but the next egg is the last egg I need, so I'm just going to book it out of here once I get that egg.
Molly is on the way. Mama!
Well, so Piers says the elves of the Lord of the Rings were tall, white, and noble. I mean, I feel like elves... I don't know. I'd be interested in learning about the historical sort of definition of elves. I mean, when I was a kid, I always remember elves as being Santa's elves, which were like dwarves, but not stocky. You know, they're not mining through Hoxie's 4. They're little, you know, dainty. An elf, maybe in some ways, was more like a pixie or a fairy. Well, not exactly. Obviously. But small. Okay, so...
Good work. All objectives completed.
So the swarm started.
Can be called via the mule.
Now there's that thing.
Lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming.
So the swarm is here because I stole their eggs.
Sending in the can. Deep dive stage.
But I'm just gonna leave. I called in the drop pod.
The swarm is upon you.
Grabbing ammo.
Uh-oh.
Drop pod has arrived.
Oh no!
The mule has been
I
called back.
didn't actually get the resupply.
Drop pod departing in T-minus 5 minutes.
I'll grab another one.
I'm taking some of the ammo.
I mean, there's no reason for me not to grab another one. Well, I guess there was a little bit of a reason. I lost some health doing it. Where the heck? Oh god. Do I have to go through the floor? Whoop!
Get out of this hill.
Oh, come on. Get me out of here, please. Oh! Nitra. No!
The mule has docked, initiating
Ooh.
launch sequence.
Ooh! I get health back. Oh, come on. Get me up this hill.
Drop pod departing in T-minus 4
Woo.
minutes.
Oh, say, now I'm in a deep dive. I'm playing a deep dive, so I don't actually go up. This isn't the end. I go further down. That's why I wanted that Nitra. Ando says, poor loot bugs. Well, you know, they shouldn't have eaten all those goodies if they don't want to meet their fate. Protect the drill dozer. God, I hate the alien egg ones. I've never liked the alien egg mission. That's my... I hate the alien egg mission, and I don't like the elimination missions either. I'm all about quarks. That's my mission type. Like my main... Point extractions, like my main mission type. Gabidu, who has a picture of Android 18 on Twitch, says, anti-immigration candidates now have 31% of the French electorate, kind of white-pilling IMO. I agree. It's, I think I think everyone's going to be watching what happens in France.
So far, so good. Second stage
for the
of
next.
dive is commencing. Get it done, stay alive.
God, it really
Get
just
to the
stuck
top
me down in a
alive.
hole here, huh?
Management is depending on you.
There's nothing down there. There's just a hole. Weird. I think everyone's going to be watching what's happening in France.
Drillers are coming in.
See if I can.
Grappling hook.
Can I sit in that yet? Oh yeah.
Born ready.
See, this is what we should be doing. Using our power grappling hooks into minerals and ceilings and precariously getting minerals off the top. Using our guns to blast ourselves around.
Light.
You can mine that, Bosco.
Locked and loaded.
So are they doing a new Lord of the Rings? Khan says, I can't wait for black neuroqueer disabled hobbits in the new Lord of the Rings. Are they doing a new Lord of the Rings? I honestly don't pay attention to a lot of media, Hollywood type crap. Oh. Oh. So, this glowing stuff, they have these pillars, like these big stone pillars in this game, in this zone, right? Big stone pillars that have sort of a magical quality to them. And it has this glow about them. I think my drop pod came through and just blasted them. Like every pillar is gone. That's my... Oh wait, no. I have like a low G effect in here. Or like a... I don't know what this is. Ready for this? Woo! There is a ceiling, by the way. I don't know how the drop pod got out, but I am at the ceiling. What's that on the wall? I gotta wait for my flare to recharge. Did you see that on the wall there? Han says, if only Yakub hadn't created the evil white race, we'd be... if Yakub hadn't done that... Oh, Molly came all the way up here. Oh, the thing is gone. I don't know what happened. If Yakub hadn't created the evil white race, we'd all be a spacefaring species by now, says Khan. You know? That's really something to think about.
No!
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Alright, give me my... Lord of the Rings, Return of the King? Good one, Schmerling.
Come here.
It'll take her a while to get back down. Okay, so, for anyone who hasn't seen the escort mission, this is the drill dozer. And Doretta's in
We
charge.
need to protect Doretta.
Doretta's the robot in charge of her.
If only I can afford one for myself.
You can pet her. Oh. Oh, hey, there's a hole in the wall here. Oh, the next section is fully open. What's happening there? Why is it glowing here?
Bravo!
Like one spot glowing. You guys see that, right? Okay, now Bosco's looking at it.
Crispy.
Listen.
Hey, Piers, thanks for the ice cream. That being said, I'm having trouble actually logging in on DLive with my normal account. Sorted. I gotta figure out what the credentials are. It works from my streaming thing, but don't send any like diamonds or anything. Whoa! Come on. Let me in there. Boom. I'm in. Khan says, what's the glowy thing? I don't know what the glowy thing was. That's why I went to hit it. But there was nothing in the rock that I found. Hey.
Go fetch. Lighting up.
I know what that glowy thing is. There's an egg in there. Little alien egg. Let me get some of this red sugar.
Yeah, give me some
This glowy thing gives you health. The dwarves will say, when you grab it, they'll say like, there's red sugar over there. Get some if you need it, but watch out, it's highly addictive, right? So it's like,
born ready.
it heals you, but
Be
it's
gone.
addictive supposedly.
I need you here.
Oops. Looks like we dropped the egg down a pit. Okay, well, we can grenade that.
Combat positions. The swarm is here.
See you later.
Ooh,
Focus fire here.
hit that grabber. Those things are dangerous.
Reloaded.
This gun, the M1000, is one that I really like. You can shoot it kind of like this, or you can do the charge shots. Like that. See how the vertical sort of zooms in a little bit? Gets a little bit more accurate, more powerful, but it takes, when you do the charge shot, it takes 2 ammo instead of 1. But definitely a good gun, and you, of course you get the ding. For any of the M1 Garand fans, M1 like during the World
The
Wars,
last of the wave is approaching you now. Keep it together.
the Garand that was like a 8 round clip or something. This also uses a clip. Now, if you look right now, it says I have 14 rounds in the clip. Well, when it's full. But that's because I've upgraded it or whatever. I think it starts with 6 or 8 or something. I don't remember exactly how many the Garand has in it. But... Bing! Bing! Yeah, Khan says he loves the ding. Everybody loves the ding. All the girls love the ding.
I was born ready. Just take your sweet time, old lady. I've got all day.
So what's down here? Is there anything down here?
Lights up.
Not really. Okay. I'm gonna start the escort now. Let's get this over with here. Life After Death says, I no longer like Ayn Rand. I mean, she said some good things. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not really I don't know about you guys. I'm not really concerned on whether, like, specific historic individuals, like, were good overall or bad overall, that sort of thing. Like, I want to hear about one idea, right? Like, as much as possible. I don't want to argue about, like, Marx and Marxism. I want to say, like, okay, someone's got one idea. Labor theory of value, or something. Talk about that. Either that idea is good or bad, regardless of who said it, or who did it, or, you know, it's like... Because for the most part, I mean, who are you going to look to, or what ideology, or whatever are you going to get into where, like, everything is correct? You know, none of them? You're probably not going to agree with any one person 100% on anything, so it's like... God, there's a lot of nitra in here. And I'd go for it if I didn't already have so much. If this was a normal mission, I'd be all over it. Okay, Bosco, knock that down.
Any nearby oil shale, and we'll have the drill dozer operational again in no time.
Okay, let's see about...
Beretta is under attack! Let's clear them out! You're as good as new, Beretta.
Oops.
Weapon ready.
So I'm gonna try and... The way it works in this game is, if every... Like, things can't be suspended in the air. This is not Minecraft. So, if I can knock away the wall... Oh, God. Stop it, you bugs. Oh! Look at that. By destroying the wall, I got all this stuff to fall down.
That ain't oil shale.
So you need oil shale to refuel the drill dozer. We're taking this drill dozer straight to Canada to block the highway. Actually, we're escorting this drill dozer because it's going to, like, mine a big rock, and there's, like, a central core of the rock that's super valuable. Sometimes it's hard to see, like... Oh, here it is. Alright, one of my canisters full. Just need one more.
Fuel canister loaded back into the dozer. No, that's not oil shale.
Oh, now he's mining nitra. I appreciate the nitra, but
Help me mine.
go mine that instead.
The drill dozer is under attack.
Oh,
Get it fixed
no.
up before we lose it.
No, don't get under attack. Ah, damn it. Okay. Let's light it up so I can
Light is
see.
up. Beretta, repair.
Fix Doretta.
Anyone guarding the drill dozer?
Got rid of that. You can see how brittle he was, or she, or whatever. Very brittle enemy when... Uh-oh. So you can, if you look at the diagram in the upper right, see the drill dozer has the sort of the left panel, the right panel, and then the center portion. It's the way they chose to do it, you know, it's like, it's one way to do it, and it's fine, it works. Any and all damage the drill dozer takes early on all goes to the left. It's all on the left.
We need to repair Beretta. Fight.
And then, if the left gets destroyed, then it hits the right panel instead. Once both left and right panels are destroyed, then it hits the center. And if the center gets destroyed, you lose the whole mission. Okay, where's this last one? Khan says, damn, the soundtrack is suddenly popping off. This game has very good music. And that's sort of one of its, I don't know, notable things, right? Like, the music when the action starts is energizing and good.
This canister is full.
It's known
Gotta
for a
get
good
it plugged back
soundtrack.
in. Whoever's got the last canister, get a move on.
Now,
Bulldozer is fueled and ready to go.
oh, things are still blowing up on my drill dozer. Yeah, great. Okay,
Doretta, healed.
and if you like the music, it should start up again here soon.
Here we go. Drill dozer setting off for the Amaran Heartstone.
So, Nero asks, have I been depressed or severely unmotivated for long periods of time? How do you get out of it? Well, ultimately,
We got an incoming swarm. Please remember that the drill dozer is top priority.
once you get deep enough into the wall, a lot of times the storms start spawning. Yeah, there it is. Grab her. Get out of here, grab her. I mean, like, I don't know how much I want to say. Everyone's got problems, right? And I can't speak to everyone else's problems because I don't know what it's like, necessarily. For example, depression. Uh-oh. Oh, get out of here, you.
We're forgetting the dozer.
Cave leech. Cave leeches can end games.
Little Dottie.
Like, I really don't have any understanding of clinical depression. And it's not really a problem for me. That being said, doesn't mean I don't have problems.
Don't waste your ammunition.
I don't know how much I want to talk about my problems, but
Bigger they are.
uh-oh. Is that... Ooh.
The drill dozer has reached the Heartstone. Press the button on the dozer and start.
Oh, I'm out of
extraction
grenades.
when you're ready.
I was not expecting to be out of grenades.
We gotta fix Dottie. Restore your bullets.
Okay, Bosco, drop the egg and help me. Jeez.
Damage repaired.
Okay, I'll take the egg now.
Objective completed. The egg quota has been met, and management will be pleased. Well done. Supply pod launched. Better stand back.
Resupply arrived.
I'm surprised there's no cave angels in here. This would seem like the perfect place for a cave angel or two.
Light.
This is a nice, big, open... Let's see.
Feeling much better now.
Oh, I'm almost out of ammo.
Help!
Good thing I got in the resupply.
Molly! Ready to kill some more crate. Ammo taken. Reloaded.
I mean, when it comes to psychological issue,
See ya, suckers.
like depression, you know, it's one of the unfortunate realities of today that, and of course I can't criticize medical science too much, especially on YouTube. They don't necessarily want to get banned, right? But it's unfortunate that, to a large degree, psychological issues from sort of a medical point of view, yeah, maybe they can be addressed to some degree, but not quite to the... We don't have the same success in psychological, psychiatric, clinical settings that we do in, like, I don't know, trauma surgery, right? Getting trauma surgery in the modern day, or like an appendectomy, is amazing. You know, an appendectomy, if you have appendicitis, a condition that historically often led to death, right? An infected appendix. And in the modern day, not only can they do it fairly easily, a lot of times they use laparoscopic technology, which is just a little, instead of like pulling that part of the intestine outside of the abdomen and removing the appendix, they just use two little tubes with tiny little, like, hands, right? Think of it like a surgeon's hands, only tiny tubes. And they make two little holes, and they perform the whole surgery using these little baby hands completely inside of you. I mean, there's nothing in psychology and psychiatric medicine and the medical system that compares to, like, trauma surgery and those types of surgeries. And I know that appendicitis isn't trauma surgery, but, like, if you have your rib cage crushed and, like, your lungs impaled, and, you know, it's a great time to do it compared to all of human history. It's just such an amazing success we have in that field. Meanwhile, people go in with clinical depression and get treated with drugs that sometimes gets them to think about suicide. You know, that's one of the side effects you'll often hear with antidepressants is suicidal tendencies, which is like... Oh. This is not to say that if you're depressed that you shouldn't take your prescribed medication. I mean, that's something to work on with your doctor. But it's unfortunate that we simply don't have the success there yet. And it makes sense why we don't. I mean, it's like the brain is a very difficult organ to understand and work on. And yeah, there's a lot there. I would say, while it is unfortunate that we don't have the success with psychiatry and psychological issues that we do in other areas, if you're experiencing problems that interfere with your ability to live your life as normal, it would probably be appropriate to at least show up and talk to someone about that. They might be able to do an EEG or some sort of brain scan to analyze potential problems. Or they, like, even if you're like, hey, I don't want to take medication, they might know of strategies for dealing with things you're not aware of. So I would say, if you're experiencing problems that are actually interfering with your life, and you haven't, you know, spoken to a psychiatrist or a neurologist, you know, someone, it's worth at least trying, worth at least having a conversation with them. And I mean, in general, when it comes to, like, medical issues, oh, 1 second. Watch this. Hoo-yah! Look at that. I love doing that. Get out of here, you. Now I'm at a point now where I can just leave Doretta alone. I mean, even if they destroy her left side, they won't get through the right side and the center before I win, right? So... See, there goes the left side. Left side's destroyed.
Minus alert. The drill dozer
And now it's
taking
invulnerable
fire
for a few
damage.
seconds. So it's like very helpful. Now the right side's getting damaged and they won't get through it. It's already over. This explodes, they all die. And then here's what we came for.
The drill dozer served its purpose. The Heartstone is ours. Deposit it and wrap up the mission. Objective completed.
And then you just strap it to the back of the mule.
Drop pod on return.
Well, anytime you're experiencing any sort of issue, whether it's in the body or the mind, that, like, the more it interferes with normal life, the more you should consider talking to someone about it, right? Like, let's say you have pain in your pinky toe and it, like,
Drop pod has arrived.
it's, like, very slight and, you know, really only happens once a year for a day or two. It's like, you could probably tell no one about that. I'm not telling you to not tell people about your medical issues, but, like, it's like a maybe lower risk deal. But, like, if you have depressive episodes where you can't motivate yourself to go to work and you've lost 2 jobs over it now, it's like, that's simply a lot more serious. The more impactful the condition is, the more it makes sense to talk to someone about it. Similar with pain, right? Like, when do you go to a doctor about pain? Well, you ever heard them do this, like, how bad is it on a 1 to 10 scale? Like, a 10 out of 10 pain anywhere on your body is generally a cause for concern, you know what I mean?
Drop pod departing in
Like-
minus 4 minutes.
Like, 10 out of 10 pain anywhere is concerning enough where you should consider talking to someone about it. Now,
Initiating
just to be
launch
clear, I
sequence.
mean, we've all heard about
Galactic
how
flight
addictive
system
painkillers can be and
Drop
how
pod will be with or without you.
how excited some doctors have been
Good
to
work, team. New coordinates punched in.
to,
Diving.
prescribe painkillers. A little dangerous. But, you know, if it's bad pain, it's worth bringing up. Queso says he is sub 450 on Facebook. Well, welcome, Queso. Thanks for subbing. Sub 450 on the Gaming Embargo channel. Okay, so I've haven't been reading the things because I had to finish my escort mission there.
Third and final stage of the deep dive
Oh,
commencing.
come on.
Stand the drill team. Stay focused, work together, and you'll pull through. Let's get this thing wrapped up nice.
Something's fishy here.
Damn it. Uh-oh.
I'm off here. Zip.
Bam! Ooh, that was nice. Uh-oh, it went up in the thing. Oh, here we go.
Watch me, lads. I'm flying.
Okay. Whoop. And you can control this. I'm turning right. And now I will level off maybe a little. I'll go up. I can go up through this gap. Turn right. Look at that. Bioluminescent space manatee. Wait, not manatee. What is this again? Oh, manta ray. Not manatee.
Never thought I'd live to experience that.
Well, let's do this first, I guess. Gladius says he's got Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he's literally in the hands of doctors. Well, do you like your doctors? You trust them? Is that going all right? Josie says you can solve most mental issues by drilling a hole in your head. Are we going back to the defining
We'll lose
discussion.
If you don't stay close by it. So
The
try not to lose the
psychiatric
triangulation zone.
clinical applications of trophionine.
Chill factor. It's getting into all the nooks and
You
crannies.
get over here. Bam. Blasted both its sacks off.
50% team.
Uh-oh. Get out of here, grabber. Oh, Sark says he had a ruptured appendix last year and I was laying in the hospital with a bunch of people loudly complaining about pain. And I just bit my teeth and made no noise about it, but the doctors attended me the most. Well, yeah, I mean, a ruptured appendix, dude. I mean,
Completed. Almost there.
that was a year ago. I mean, what's the prognosis for a ruptured appendix through most of human history? I mean, like, I don't think you live a year normally. And I assume you're fully healthy and recovered and everything's fine now, right? Hopefully. Because that's... Ooh.
Shoulder for ya.
Ruptured appendix is
Flares up.
some serious stuff. So anyone who doesn't know, your appendix is just part of your
All
intestine,
data
right?
retrieved. Objective completed. Nice performance.
Likely a
Miners.
vestigial structure since you can get along so well without it. But,
Weapon ready.
I think it's attached to the cecum. Oh! Spitballer.
Out of today.
Those things are dangerous. So when you get a ruptured appendix, to some degree what's happening is, well, normally it's infected, right? So you have, like, the infected material, like you have, like, pus or whatever in there,
Launched. Stay clear from
as
the
well
impact
as
zone.
potentially some of the contents of your intestine just pouring out into your abdominal cavity, which leads to, like, sepsis. Septic shock, right? I mean, it's
Your own fault for being full of goodies.
like a life-threatening condition, at least for most of human history.
Took out a loot bug.
So many loot bugs.
You shouldn't eat precious minerals. It will get you killed.
Cozy says, just kidding. I heard you discuss that topic last stream. Yeah, I thought that was a reference. I thought you were joking. I mean, there is, like... So, you know, at one point... Well, you will see... This is just something to think about. Okay. Most of the time, I would say people largely don't change. Right? People are who they are.
Pebble in my boot.
Who they are last year and who they are this year
Light.
are unlikely to be different
Better than fire.
meaningfully, right?
Let's get the water.
Occasionally,
Request accepted.
you will
Stand
see
clear.
someone really
Object
change.
inbound.
One of the reasons you do see some people change is, like, brain tumors, pressure in the brain. That sort of deal.
Pipelines to the pump jack and let's get the extract.
Like, there's been numerous cases of, like, oh, he's not the man I married, he's so different, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out he had, like, a brain tumor. Putting pressure on his brain, and, like, now, yeah, he is acting different. And no one really knew why.
Pipelines to the pump jack.
So if you ever do encounter someone in your life and really feels like over a course of 10 months or 16 months they had like a really big 180 in their personality, you could bring them to go get that looked at. But the point is, like, historically, if you had a primitive people dealing with that sort of problem, like a brain tumor, and they were to poke a hole in his head, it might get better. I mean, he might die, but if his personality is changed to be more violent and they can't have him around, they're gonna have to get rid of him. But they poke a hole in his head and it gets better. Yeah.
Can't move.
It might work. How am I gonna get this?
Flares are recharging.
Okay, let me. I don't know why I don't light this up. Oh God, no! it's so long here. Sark says the surgery went well, but the infection and subsequent antibiotics regime was worse. Yeah, well, I mean, when you get, when you just are unleashing all that infected material from the, so like, the ruptured appendix, like I'm sure it was infected, that's why it ruptured, right? Infected and swollen? I got one. That wasn't as bad. The next one might be rough, though.
Go, help me build.
When you unleash all that infected material into the abdominal cavity, it's really a disaster and a half.
In here.
Okay, this is going to be ridiculous, but this is the way I'm going to do it. Oh no, come on. Ah, damn it. Maybe stick... Can I stick it right there?
Swarm, they're here.
Oh god, this is... Oh, I don't have any ammo. I was gonna...
Supply drop has been ordered and is on the way.
Okay, Bosco, you can stop building that for a second.
Let there be light. Time to restock.
Get rid of here.
Come and get me, you disgusting fuck. What a jaw-dropping
There's an
experience.
oppressor right behind me. I can hear it. Stomping. There it is. Bosco's shooting it, but not in the right place. He might be doing it now.
You snooze, you live. No
Nice.
more oppression. I was born ready.
What?
The stream
What are you
of
talking
incoming
about?
Enemies is practically eradicated, and you're still alive.
Nero says,
Well
don't
done.
think we didn't hear that beautiful gamer word. I didn't say any gamer words. What word are you thinking of? Ando says he almost died as a kid from stitches breaking open in his throat after a tonsillectomy. Wow. God, that's some scary stuff, man. I didn't say any gamer words. So you didn't miss anything, Ando. I think Nero's imagining things. I'm gonna have ridiculous pipes, but whatever. Okay, finish that.
Let me build it, please.
Can I go this way?
Here.
Sark says in regards to his
Refinery.
appendectomy, or his ruptured appendix, even worse.
Build it.
Had a bout of stomach pain that passed. I thought nothing of it. Oh, that was your appendix exploding.
Getting close
I
to a
thought,
goal.
and then it came back a couple of weeks later with a vengeance. Ooh. I think I can tell this story. What the heck? It's like nothing over here. Oh, this one's gonna be annoying too. There's a sort of a joke in my family. Oh god. Okay, let me look at this wall. Yeah, well.
Lighting.
The joke is that the Waltons saved my sister's life. You know the Waltons as a television show? Okay, where's the thing? What's over there?
From A to D, skipping B and C.
Too long.
Pipe segment up.
So, I guess there's an episode of The Waltons where John Boy or whoever has appendicitis. And it was because my mother watched that episode and remembered the symptoms that John Boy had that my mother was able to recognize appendicitis when my sister had it and bring her to the hospital. And apparently, the doctor, the surgeon, said after they removed her appendix, something to the effect of,
Down it goes.
it was so taut or whatever. It was so nearly to the point of rupture that he was shocked that it hadn't, right? It was shocked. The surgeon was blown away that the appendix had not ruptured, and he only had to perform an appendectomy rather than a full, like, nasty cleanup of a ruptured appendix or whatever. So the story of my family, one of the stories is the Waltons saved my sister's life.
Objective completed. All pipelines are set up.
Although, of
and
course, my
ready.
mom deserves some credit there, too.
All objectives completed. You're ready to start the pump sequence.
That will teach you. Getting supplies.
Oh. Gladius says, let's talk about our glorious
Ready to
future.
kill some more
You
critters.
mean, when we'll be hunting woolly mammoths on space colonies? As per my vision. Nero, I don't know what you're saying. I didn't say that gamer word either. No gamer words
The liquid
are being
walker
spoken
is
here.
being extracted. Refinery and all pump jacks are working at full
Cave Angel,
capacity.
take me away.
Warned, the noise will draw in the locals.
Turn right.
So stay on your toes and do
And
what you
up,
can to
up, up,
protect
up, up,
and
up, up.
maintain the equipment.
Go up
We
to the
got
ceiling.
company, and it's a nice one.
Nice. Oh, we're getting shot, Angel. Evasive maneuvers. Dive, dive. Oh, uh-oh. Never mind.
Pump sequence at 25%.
I don't know what you're saying, Nero. I definitely didn't say any gamer words. Maybe you misheard me? Did I use it in a sentence, or do you think I said just the word in isolation?
The extraction has stopped. Pipelines need maintaining.
Okay. Suppose I can turn some lights on here.
Gotta go fast.
Ooh. Uh-oh. My god, the goo bomber is going crazy with its goo. There's two of them. That's why.
Bloody sonnet. And here I just polish my boots.
Oh my god, the goo bombers.
Eat it.
This pipeline is fixed, but there are more outstanding issues.
Fighting off. Sonnet right pointing on.
You've heard of me. Well, they're not space mammoths. They're regular woolly mammoths, but in...
It stays that way.
Did I say space mammoths? I mean, like, what I mean is, like,
Pump sequence
finding the
at 50%.
genetic
Refining commencing
material
as planned.
to resurrect the woolly mammoth of ancient Europe
I got the tri-dog.
and fill space colonies with it, so those of us who desire to do so can either live full-time or part-time as, like, megafaunal hunter-gatherers.
Let there be light.
Pump sequence at 75%. Keep
Oops.
the pipelines running
I
at
missed.
all costs.
Okay.
The extraction has stopped. Must be due to jammed pipelines. Get it fixed.
Doesn't that sound good?
Locked and loaded.
I don't think maybe my voice... So, Nero says
All pipelines fixed and
that
operational again.
I was deploying pipelines, and I said, "Get out of my way, you bundle of sticks."
Bugs, get ready.
I definitely didn't say that, but it may be that my mic cut, and it sounded like I said that. I could go back and listen, see if maybe it does sound like that, but I didn't say that.
Liquid Morkite quota met. Hit the return button on the refinery to send the goods to orbit. We'll send in the drop pod to get you out.
Well, so someone says, why mammoths? Well, at some point, prior to the mammoth extinction, I mean, we could look at trying to find out the diet of ancient humans is a little difficult.
Well done.
But
Cargo rocket is returning to orbit.
it may be that there was a point in which, to a large degree, the humans' main diet may have consisted of megafauna. So, mega, think like huge, fauna, animals, like mammoths. And basically, we switched off of those because we hunted them to extinction, right? Like, we got them all. So, why not bring it back? Bring back our glorious megafaunal hunting days. Piers says planting forests of giant redwoods on Mars would be cool. Yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of planets. As like a future expansionary project thing. Planets are a huge pain in the butt in terms of they got a big atmosphere and a lot of gravity, so it's hard to leave. Like, you see how troublesome it is now. Rather be all in space colonies. Well, go ahead, take the clip, Nero. I'll tell you what I said for real. Even if it sounds like I said that. Hey, Nat says, hunt them with wooden spears and wearing a loincloth. Sure, why not? Why, what were you gonna hunt them with? Your fists? Like, okay. Let me pull up my thing here. Well, let me see here. Do I have... Which... Okay, let's do... properties. Okay. So I went on... I'm just searching for the very first image I can find. God, where's my cursor? Oh, there. There's some giant watermark on this, but I really don't care. I really need to know how to do text with an outline around it. That would be helpful. How does the meme go? This could be us, but you playing? Oh my god. Where's my thing? Also, yeah, like this. This could be us, but you plan. We could do that, only with the mammoth thing. Also, my thing is all crazy. Gladius says, I'll leave the hunting and gathering to you northerners. My ancestors have different tradition. Well, at the end of the day... Oh, gosh. Where's my... Okay, I gotta bring up my Twitter here at some point. Where's my thing? Bum, bum, bum. Twitter... I'll have it any second now. Any second now. Do this. Bing, bing. Okay. So I mentioned that cities, urban areas have been around for thousands of years now, right? I mean, Rome was over 2,000 years ago. Well, the Roman Republic was over 2,000 years ago. Even though they've existed for such a long time, they've represented really small portions. I think the Roman Republic was like less than a million. Or sorry, Rome during the Roman Republic, I'm almost positive was less than 1 million people. But like the Roman Republic, like towards the end, and Julius Caesar probably conquered and had, I don't know, tens of millions of people in it. So, if you take this graph, which isn't a real graph, it just represents an idea that, like, everyone more or less was a hunter-gatherer, then you have the rise of sort of agrarianism, or sort of like the transitionary state, between hunter-gatherers and agrarianism. You know, so for instance, you look at certain Native American tribes that were, like, doing a lot of hunting and gathering, but would spread seeds of plants they knew they liked in areas and then return to those areas to sort of harvest it. But they weren't, like, settled agrarian communities. They were traveling hunter-gatherer with some agrarian aspects. You have, well, so one of the things I wanted to mention is that in this graph, so like everyone's a hunter-gatherer, most of humanity switches over to agrarian, and there's this small bit of urban that goes until today. If you were to, like, this blue section extends to the left for, you know, like 1 million years. So if you say your ancestors have different traditions, like, your ancestors may have done rural agrarian life for, like, I don't know, hundreds or thousands of years more than others, but, like, at the end of the day, it's like most of us have a lot more hunter-gatherer past than you might expect. So, yeah. So, in Little League, they pitch at 50 to 60 miles per hour. Although at this age, players may begin to reach puberty. And once, you know, those little boys reach puberty, it's not unusual to see a pitcher throwing around 70 miles an hour. So we're talking like prepubescent boys schooling adult male chimps by throwing 3 times as quick as, like, the projectile flies at 3 times the speed. And once the boys start to hit puberty, you're starting to see, you know, close to 4 times the speed. And if we do MLB, of course, we're reaching, oh, I want MPH, keep it simple. Average pitching speed. So here's 4, almost 4.5 times as fast. You know, some people are breaking 90 miles an hour for average. What was it? Average pissing velocity. Fastballs being in excess of 100 miles per hour, I believe. MLB fastest pitch ever. A 105 miles per hour. I mean, you have adult male humans absolutely crushing any other animal. Chimpanzees being probably one of the better throwers. At least they have like arms they can use like us. They're throwing 20 miles per hour. We're throwing in excess of 100. Like, and that's probably not super common. Like, if you taught every young boy to throw and he threw as hard as you can, you trained him. Like, maybe not everyone could break 100. But, like, this has a lot to do with our early success in hunting. Atlatl. And then the atlatl invention. So, this is before the bow and arrow, right? You use your hand as sort of another contact point for, like, another elbow. So, like, this little nub holds the dart. So this is like your new hand. You have this point of inflection. You have this point where that bends this slightly, and then your elbow. So this is like a second elbow. You can really just whip an atlatl. Let's see, atlatl fastest throwing speed. So the atlatl is the thing that you're holding on to. The dart is what's actually throwing. What? That seems really low. $78 miles per hour? I guess I don't know what the mass of the dart is. So here's a guy with an atlatl and dart. So here's the atlatl, here's the dart. You can see it's long. And it might be hard to throw something that long super quick. But it is interesting to see that it's like, you know, not that fast, but it's big. You wouldn't want this to be impaled. You wouldn't want to be impaled on this if you were a mammoth. Piers says, they find frozen mammoths in Siberia every so often. We might be able to use the DMA to bring them back. Exactly. Bring them back. Hunt them. Piers says there was a funny video of a chimpanzee firing an AK-47. I don't know if that video was real. Was it an ad? Yeah. So it's viral video, ape with AK-47. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, opening August 4th? Oh. So this is from a movie. Rise of the Planet of the Apes? I mean, you're talking about this clip, right? Oops. Yeah. I mean, the gunshot doesn't even sound real. Yeah, Nero, I'll watch it later, but I'm not gonna watch it on stream. All right. Well, we've been talking for a long time, like 2.5 hours, but I think about good for today. Just remember, I'll be playing, what's it called? You know, that one game? Oh, God. Yeah, that one. I'm gonna have to look. Deus Ex, Human Revolution, on Wednesday. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, U.S. I'm playing Deus Ex Human Revolution, and in that game, we're going through the storyline, and we're trying to sort of see what they're saying. They're saying things about sex differences and feminism. They're signaling those sorts of things. And they're talking about transhumanism and modifying people's body and whatever. And we're commenting on that. So if you want to show up 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, there you go. It's going to be on all the same channels, the YouTube, Twitch, and everything else. But other than that,
Rock and roll!
rock and stone.
Rock solid!
You're on notice embargo. Well, you know, whatever. All right. I hope you all have a good weekend, and I'll see you later. Peace out, everybody.